All right.
You're here, man. Oh, gosh.
Everybody's glad to get a double thing.
We don't need to pay the first up to do.
Unlock the.
Where did it go? I can't see your number.
What are we doing?
Right, four cents. Hey, right now, there's like more than that, right? It's like having porch, she says. Just you wait. Well, let me finish this. The next time.
We stand for pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Adjustments to the agenda, so we're going to let you guys go first.
Oh, that's very nice. That's nice.
So the adjustments to the agenda is we would like to offer for Mr. Leather's class to do the presentation earlier instead of later, if you'd like to do that. Okay, the next
Everybody's do this.
Oh, sorry,
the next adjustment to the agenda would be to see if the board would create a 6-9 alternative ed program, so that's later in our agenda. And also to see if the board would approve the superintendent's nomination of and authorize the superintendent to hire an alternative ed teacher of that as well as later in the agenda.
All right, you guys do it up.
It's probably be behind her. I'm like in the
Oh,
way.
yeah. You'd be a- yeah, one.
You guys are being recalled and,
Yeah.
if you're up here.
Right. Right there. Wait.
Hi.
There we go. There you go. Those right up, guys.
Don't get tired.
That's wild. Quinn, go for it.
Hi, we're Mr. 8th grade homeroom, and since it's around December, we've been working on a very important project. We have been working to create a major change to our cafeteria through this project called Product Citizen. Product Citizen allows students to identify a problem in the community, brainstorm solutions, and create a public policy to present to the appropriate level of government. The problem that we chose to investigate was how to improve the student satisfaction with the food served in the cafeteria. Upon giving out a survey to our school, we found that over 3/4 of the 80 students that participated believed that the school lunches could be changed for the better. Faced with these results, we came up with 3 ideas to improve the overall satisfaction of students. Our first idea was to look into different food vendors to increase the variety of meals we received at lunch. However, we found out that finding different food vendors available for Millinocket wasn't going to be possible. Our second idea was to create a student nutrition group. The student nutrition group would be able to accurately provide the cafeteria with feedback on a regular basis concerning the food that is served. Something like this started to be done with the help of Mrs. Charette, who has met with us and allowed us to advise her about ideas for the lunches served in the cafeteria. I lost my place, hold on. She has been she's been open to and actively collaborating with us. Our final idea was to attempt to sponsor a greenhouse or school garden, ensuring that even fresher food reaches the cafeteria. Our class has unanimously chosen to start a school greenhouse. We found out that school funding for buying local foods have been cut at a federal level, which makes our idea of installing a greenhouse or two even more beneficial to school. Ms. Charette has met with Flex Farm, the company will be ideally buying 2 grow towers from to find out some key information. Each grow tower is around $5,000, however, 2 grow towers will grow 50 pounds of food a month. It's worth the investment not only because it is healthier for the students to consume, but it's a great way to teach botany with their included curriculum.
Moving forward, there's a plethora of actions we've decided to take to create a more positive atmosphere at the student body. We've already received support from students, staff, parents, and the cafeteria manager. The student nutrition group is being formed and should officially be up and running smoothly in the fall. Funding is one of the final and probably largest steps to take. While we ask a big favor, this would really help improve the school in the long run. We ask you, the school board and school administration, to help us find grants or donations to fund our project. Thank you for your time and your contribution is much appreciated.
This is awkward, man.
Completely said it, there was a lot of there.
Were there any questions about the project?
Would you mind, explaining just a little bit about each of your posters? Just because, like, from sitting back here, we can't entirely tell what they're about.
This one just explains the problem, so like, the results.
You need some help, Brittany?
It shows some of the nasty examples of like food that we've gotten in the past, not that we want to take our phones out and just show a bunch of people nasty
Wow.
food, but it's just to like explain that we'd like to better that food so it's more edible.
They're just examples of what we're talking about when we're saying that we would like school food to change. They're not like, we don't want you to focus on them necessarily. They're not like the entire project itself.
Okay.
It has been available.
What's this one about again?
Why don't you guys talk about what happened after you met with Mrs. Charette for the first time? You talked about some of the things that your complaints, some of which were reasonable and some that were, you realized were maybe a little more than what we could do here.
December, and then we like made our plan of action, our problem, all of our policies and everything, ways that we could solve this issue, and then we basically ruled out the 2 other issues and picked the best one, with the other ones being backup. And Ms. Charette met with us about 2 weeks after we figured all of this stuff out for the first time. And that's when we created a survey box for our school where we emailed it to all of the homeroom teachers and they had their kids take it. And then we explained to her some of the major problems like finding hair in your food or having food that just was not like edible to your liking, not very tasty. Ways to better the food, and we kind of discussed that. And we also came up with a menu, which is on one of these boards, which is just like an example of like a month. And we followed all of like the rules and standings where you had to have like a certain amount of greens, certain amount of meat, certain amount of wheat, all of that stuff, just to kind of get a rough draft on the road of where we want to go.
And all the requirements for it is on this pages, she follows one thing.
Yeah.
I just think it's an excellent idea. You guys saw that problem. Came up with some solutions. I think a couple of greenhouses would be a great idea, especially with the federal government. They are cutting back on funding for food. I think it's a fantastic idea.
With the greenhouses, that could also add like another elective option at our school.
Yes.
Or like,
Yeah. Your ties right in with the sciences.
yes.
Yeah, but I think we have interesting class to ask here.
And it has its own, curriculum. When you can buy the greenhouses and you can, it comes with curriculum, so you can teach people.
I think it's a fantastic idea, especially if we can get some grants to help fund it.
Anyone else? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that's good.
Thank you so much.
Bill Washington,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
They go across the floor with the food.
Oh,
It's nice to see young people when I take that initiative.
Where are we moving these to?
It's already.
Public comment.
All right. The school board endorses the concept that community participation in affairs of the schools is essential to improve the quality of education for its students. To be eligible to address the board, an individual should reside within the school unit, be an employee of the school unit, or be invited by the board or superintendent to speak. The board shall give due attention to comments and contributions from the audience, but shall not be expected to respond or take action immediately. Audience inquiries, other than simple questions, shall be referred to the superintendent or who shall investigate or consider the matter and report to the citizens and to the board. If the board action is indicated, the item may be included in the agenda for the subsequent meeting. Comments will be heard for no longer than 3 minutes per person. Is there any public comment? Seeing none. Shall we move on? Approval of minutes, can I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the school board meeting from May 6, 2025, barring any errors or omissions.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
You have to do it orally. like-
Oh.
Aye.
Yeah.
So I have to do each one of them orally? Or-
No, we just have to
Just
hear
Kevin?
him, which we did. Yep.
Thank you, Kevin. So all in favor is
Four.
4. And one, by the way, in here. There it is.
Like the
Okay, motion to direct superintendent.
I'd like to make a motion to direct superintendent of schools to authorize payment by the town treasurer for each party herein listed herein. The sum set against each name continued in the following school payroll warrants. May 22nd, 2025, PR 25-24, $157,051.43. PR 25-24D, $81,817.75. Main PERS 25-29, $262.90. Main PERS 25-30, $8,481.73. Main PERS 25-31, $34,776.36. June 5th, 2025, PR 25-25, $136,858.20. PR 25-25D, $75,423.38.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Kevin? Payable warrants. Go through motion.
I'd like to make a motion to direct the superintendent of schools to authorize payment by the town treasurer to each party listed herein, the sum set against each name contained in the following school payable warrants. May 22nd, 2025, AP 25-35, $23,767.17. AP 25-36, $113,455.25. SA 25-30, $3,167.54. June 5th, 2025, AP 25-37, $68,603.03. SA 25-31, $4,042.22. SA 25-32, $9,888.63. SA 25-33, $1,488.52.
Second.
Any discussion? Kevin?
Aye.
We did that already. Any learning opportunities? That's what we're doing now.
Yes. So Chelsea has joined us today to give you an update on some of the activities with the extended learning opportunities grant that we're participating in. She's been working on it now for a couple of months.
For
Let's about 3 months. So she just, has some details, to share with us.
Yeah, so I just wanted to come in today to give you updates on what we're doing with the program and just some ongoing things that we can be expecting to see this summer and fall. So just a reminder, the ELO program is opportunities for students, mostly juniors and seniors, but it can apply to all high school students to earn academic credit through experiences outside of the classroom. A lot of these experiences are going to be relying on community-based experiences, so they'll be partnering with a mentor or a business. The ELO program is also offering career exploration services, which middle school students can tap into as well. But these are not going to be credit-bearing experiences. An example of one of these previously was a field trip that I took students on to the University of Maine. It was an engineering day. This was open to high school students. But that was like more of a career exploration and not an ELO specifically. So right now I have kind of the program vision worked out. I've got a big thick packet for work-based learning experiences that students will be doing. This will be for students who are earning credits. All juniors and seniors and teachers have learned about the program, so there was a bit of marketing that has been done. Some community members have been connected with so far. I do have a student that's starting an internship at the library this summer, so we'll have an ELO story done. One thing about this program is that it's extremely individualized, so each student is going to have a different experience with the program. So once we start getting the stories and hearing about their experiences, it'll be a little bit easier to relate to, and the word will get out a little bit more. So hoping that that student will have a good experience this summer. She'll earn half a credit once she finishes that. So these are elective credits that students can earn. And then I've got at least 4 lined up for the fall. So 4 more students that will start. Hopefully I can work a little bit more with teachers on middle school goals and what we can do with those students. So far, these are all going to be seniors completing the ELOs for the next school year. Another exciting program that I wanted to share with as many people as possible is a program called Manpower, which I have been signing a couple of students up with, and I've let community partners know, it's a program that any business in Maine can sign up with, as long as they've got a 16 to 24-year-old person that wants to work with them, that'll pay 75 hours at minimum wage. So the library internship that our student is doing, she's doing it through this program, so it opened up that position and that opportunity to her. So if there are any other businesses or community partners that are interested in mentoring a student, but they don't have the funds to hire them, that's something that we can use to get that student in with the mentor or the community partner. And it's pretty flexible around what the workplace is. It could be something in the school, it could be a mentor outside of the school. So just chatting with me about the possibilities is what I encourage everybody to just come talk to me, and I can see what we can do with the program. So I had a little handout here. There have already been some changes that have been made. It's an ever evolving program. So I've got kids that I talk to all the time. That's what most of my day looks like now, is meeting the students and getting to know them. But I'm really excited about this program. I'm hoping that it'll help some of the students think about their learning a little bit differently and get more excited about coming to school, and definitely learn something about themselves and what careers they're interested in, and maybe potentially change the trajectory of what they end up doing. So that's my updates. If anybody has any questions.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It's been a lot of work, but it's been really fun. So yeah.
How will this interact with Region 3, Amy?
I've had a lot of interactions with Region 3. So some students are going to stay in Region and still do ELOs. I'm working on hopefully partnering with Region to kind of combine our efforts. Because I have a student right now who is in Region. She's going to be in it next year, and she wants to connect with the hospital in Lincoln. So it's kind of like we can do this little triangle thing. So yeah, so it's a mix of thing. And then I have one student who is kind of beyond what Region can offer. So he's coming to the ELO program to try to work through, because he's doing a firefighting ELO, but he's he's more advanced than what they offer patients, so it's a good way to work with them and also an alternative program if needs to be.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Donnie,
Yes,
I just wanted to add that we can help where I work, EMDC, with work experiences as well. We've had them at the library. Chelsea is at the library now. So that's something we can help with a lot more hours. So if you have people that are, as long as they're eligible for our program, we may be able to help to extend it longer.
Nice, okay, that's good to know.
thank you, Kevin. Okay, this, next on the agenda is to see if the board will approve the superintendent's nomination.
Make a motion to approve the superintendent's nomination of and authorize the superintendent to hire Alyssa Averill as high school history teacher, step 8, with a master's, $52,671.
Second that?
Any discussion?
There was an interview team that interviewed Alyssa, and she was a strong candidate and interested in returning to this area. I'm not sure who's most excited about this, but I'm thinking it's her dad. So we welcome her. We're pleased to put forth her nomination.
Okay, have a vote, Kevin?
Aye.
Yeah.
See if the board will create a 6 to 9 alternative education program. Have a motion.
Motion to create a 6 to 9 alternative ed program.
I'll second that.
So this is exciting. This is one thing that came out of our shared services conversations that we started with in October. And this program is going to be developed with the Medway Middle School. So it'll be Medway and Stearns. And we have interviewed, and we still have a lot of work to do, but we've interviewed and we're going to put forth a nomination tonight after creating a program to hire a teacher. Will be staffed with a teacher and an ed tech. The pay will be like a 1/3, 2/3 based on our attendance, really, our enrollment. So Medway will pay 1/3 of our program costs. We'll pay 2/3 of our program costs. This was already calculated when we built the budget in anticipation of being able to put the details together. We've got to do simple things, I guess, like name the program. Because this is not special ed, it's not regular ed, it's for kiddos who just need a learning environment that's a little bit different than what they're currently in. If you're in this program, you may be, I may not do very well in science class, for instance, and I don't like what's going on, I don't understand it, so I get my dander up and I maybe say things and do things that are disruptive, but maybe I'm good in English language arts. I'm thinking ELO, I can't get over that. English language arts, or maybe I'm pretty good in math, so maybe science is my only issue. So we would perhaps have some conversations with the student and the parents and say, well, how about for this class, we try this? So the science would look different. It wouldn't be perhaps looking at a lab. It might not be going through the chapters of a book. It might be looking at what the concept is, because the learning opportunity is still going to be there. It's just going to be approached in a different manner. So when we say alternative, we really do mean alternative. So a student may be in this room half of the day, all of the day for a class period. But it will be the same, like every day, it's like you'll be assigned to this program or not. So it won't be like Shelley can't go into a class and, misbehave and all of a sudden I've been sent there. No, this will be a group of students who we believe through conversations with their parents and with the teachers and with the students, will be better served in an alternative type setting. So the learning opportunities will just look a little bit different. We are excited because we're putting this program in place for grades 6 through 9. We're sharing with Medway, and we think that combination is really good. We think it'll really benefit kiddos. It's not going to be a great big class, because with learning being so different, we can't have a class of 20, so we're looking at about 11 as our cap. But I'll tell you lots more as we develop more details around the program, but it is exciting. It's an exciting venture for a couple of reasons. One, because we're sharing it with Medway, and two, because we'll be serving some students who really just need education in a little bit different way.
Kevin Gregory, can I have your vote?
Yeah, I had a question too, Donnie.
Sure.
Is it already in our budget for this upcoming budget?
Yes,
Okay. My second question, where would it be housed at this Medway? Is it gonna be two different places or?
no, it's gonna be here and in
Okay.
Stern. Yep,
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Kevin.
Just real quick, I just see this as a great opportunity to share services with a neighboring school. And we should do that to benefit the students and if possible even to save money sometimes.
right.
I think it's a great idea. And I wonder if somehow that keeps in science, that could springboard off that nice presentation that the young students made, like nutrition, science, greenhouses. Looks like that could be
Yeah.
something that might spring into it.
Those are definitely things that we're hoping will come out of this program. When I was at Katahdin last time and I was principal there, we put into place a program like this. And we had kids learn how to lay flooring. And if you don't think there's math and science in that, right? So like, we're trying to kind of like build off ideas of things that we, have already experienced as being successful. So, yeah.
Have Kevin voted. And I'll vote yes. Okay, see if the board will approve the superintendent's nomination of authorize the superintendent to hire an alternative education teacher.
To approve, I'd like to make a motion to approve the superintendent's nomination of and authorize the superintendent to hire Roger Pimello as an alternative education teacher at step 0 with a bachelor's 46,305.
Second.
So there was an interview committee who interviewed Roger. Roger got his degree in December and has really feels a drive and does a really wonderful job with some of the kids that need this type of programming. So it seems like an amazing fit. He interviewed well. He and I spoke yesterday and we ran through scenarios, like what would you do with this and what would you do with that? And it wasn't part of the interview process, but it was part of, okay, let's make sure we're thinking this through. This is the kind of programming that you're looking for. The details aren't set up. So if you're somebody who needs the details between, now and the 1st of August, this isn't the program for you because we really want somebody who's helping to develop the program, bring the ideas in. So I'm really excited to put forth Roger for the teacher for this program.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I have to recuse myself or not, Shelley. He was a customer, but he's exited, so I'm in support of it either way.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? So if he's not gonna vote on it or he's gonna abstain? Kevin, are you gonna vote on this or abstain?
Was trying to get the mute off, sorry. If you feel like you vote on it and it's not a conflict, I'll vote yes.
I think it's fine. He hasn't been in your program for a while.
Okay, that's all right.
Rick?
All right, see if the board will approve the roofing bid.
Make a motion to approve the roofing bid of AM Construction and Roofing, Inc., Caribou, Maine at $110,558.62.
Second.
Discussion?
About 3 weeks ago, we had 7 bids that were put in for this project. And the project is done, right? And so like within a few days of accepting this bid, which the key factors with accepting this, correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, Louis, was that they, for one, were a local company. They're from here in Maine, local as in here in Maine, they're from Caribou. But there wasn't anything that was much closer, and there were people as far as way as Massachusetts that didn't even come look at the site. This company actually came and spent an hour and a half walking up in in around the rafters, spending time talking with Louis, took pictures. Really gave a thorough assessment before he put in his bid. Anything you want to add to that? That's pretty much the process. Yep, and then, shortly after that, it was executed. And he had already taken measurements, knew the things he wanted, and we had materials delivered within a week, and they started a week ago, Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then not,
And then Monday,
and then Monday, yeah, and are they done?
they're done all the roofing,
Yeah.
they've got some trim pieces to do that were included as well, but yeah,
Yeah.
they're supposed to be back tomorrow to finish
Yeah.
those, so as of tomorrow, they'll be completely done.
So for the Buildings and Grounds Committee, we all saw those pictures, you were on it at that time. We all saw those pictures of that underpinning that was wet and weak, and when they got into it, they actually found that there was more than what we could see. And this company had given us a price for anything that was discovered that was not something you could see. Once you take off the shingles, there's an underlayment. Once they take off the underlayment, there was more like saturated wood, and so there was a price included in fixing all of that, and they did it, and they really, we're thrilled, right?
Yeah.
We're thrilled.
I think he said today, 114 sheets had to be replaced
Wow.
of roofing underlayment, yeah. 114 rotted.
So our ask at this time is that you would accept this company's bid, and
Did they happen to look at the Grand Street School? I know there's.
They have not yet, no. I asked them
Is that-
to go look at it there. They will.
Okay, excellent. Anyone else? All right.
Yeah, one thing, Donnie, so it was 110, did they stay within that? I know those extra costs. But does this cover what they did?
no, because this was for everything that was spec'd out for the work. But then there was an additional amount set for each piece of plywood or other things as they were discovered once they were able to dig into it. So we don't have the actual final, dollar figure yet, but you should know that compared to when we set the money aside, a year and a half ago even, we actually had more money than this, so we're still coming in under what we had set at that time.
That's
In
what I wanted to know. Thanks.
this case, waiting to do construction actually saved us money. So before, I know that a vote is next, but I was looking, is there anything, Louis, that you want to add to that for details, or?
No, that pretty much covers it, I think. I did walk all through the roof when we get the pouring rain this weekend, because I have nothing else to do. And it was nice to go through in a rainstorm and see no water pouring
Nice,
into the building.
excellent.
But no,
They've been very good around us. I mean, we're a public school system. There's been a lot of people. At one point, there were 17 people on the roof. We really should have taken pictures. It was pretty interesting. But you know, they came to do the work, and they really did seem to be very efficient. I think from everything I know, we would definitely seek them out as somebody to put bids in for work, because they really were very good to work with.
very impressed.
And on the Thursday, they said they would be here, they're already unloading stuff. I
Yeah.
can buy.
Yeah,
Wow,
it-
that's quick.
It was impressive.
And professional. They were everything was very professional. with
Yeah.
that. They're coming back to take drone. They have a professional drone photographer, and they like to use this on their
Oh, nice.
website. They love the color of the shingles I chose. They said it brought out the brick and the tan, which it did, and it actually wasn't even my first choice in color, but the first choice wasn't available, and it looks fantastic. So they asked if a drone photographer could come and take pictures so they could put it on the website.
So we'll have the gymnasium and advertisements,
Yeah.
and we'll have this and
Exactly.
advertisements. Yay.
Let's I think you'll have another opportunity this weekend to check to see.
Yes, that's what I see.
Kevin Gregory, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Everyone else? Adoption of new policies?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the adoption of the following new policies: GBM employee references and GCFA employee social media privacy.
Second.
Any comment or discussion, sorry? Seeing none? know. Yes.
Aye.
Any discussion? No. Kevin Gregory? Aye.
Aye, yep.
Else? Okay. Adoption of revised policies?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the adoption of the following revised policies. GB and family and medical leave, GBO family care leave, GCF professional staff hiring, formally selection of teaching personnel, JJIF management of concussion and other head injuries, JFCK-R rules for student use of privately owned electronic devices at school.
Second.
Didn't mean to jump in on you.
No, you're
So
fine.
Just,
Absolutely.
just you and I.
No, I know.
You want to-
You're completely fine.
Just had that typed in here.
No worries.
Discussion? None, okay. Kevin Gregory, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. To see if the board will approve moving the July 1st school board meeting to July 15th.
Motion to approve changing July 1st, 2025 school board meeting to July 15th, 2025.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Kevin Gregory,
Aye.
thank you. See if the board will transfer between budget cost centers for 2023-24. Have a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that for the fiscal year 2023-24, the school board delegates to the superintendent its authority under 20-AMRSA 1485, parentheses 4, to transfer amounts not exceeding 5% of the total appropriation for any cost center from any cost center to another cost center, or among other costs in her discretion.
Second.
This is language provided to us from Drummond Woodsum following as part of the audit process. This is the 5% law that we've been talking about for movement between cost centers. And they gave us this language and said that this is the time of year that we pull this up.
All right, have a vote. Kevin Gregory? Oh, I'm sorry, is there more discussion?
Aye.
All right. To see if the board will vote to transfer between budget cost centers for 2024-2025. Motion,
Motion is further authorized that for fiscal year 2024-2025, school board delegates the superintendent its authority under 20-A-M-RSA subsection 1485-4 to transfer amounts not exceeding 5% of the total appropriation for any cost center from any cost center to another cost center, or among other costs in his discretion. Because like I said, I'm doing it.
hopefully costly.
Yeah, costs.
Any discussion? All in favor? Kevin Gregory?
Aye.
Superintendent's report.
Okay, I don't really have extra things tonight, so I'd just like to make sure that Louis, you're all set with everything, with the roof. I didn't mean to like.
Everything with the roof's good. We got a good inspection on our elevators for the first time in years.
Oh, good.
So that saves me a ton of paperwork and repair costs, and the boilers got inspected last week, and that was all very good. That's been a bit of a challenge as well. We changed companies, so those things are all very
Off the
good.
checks.
Yeah, we just gotta go for the licensing and the paperwork now, but
Good,
it'll go smoothly.
nice.
Yeah.
And Mia, anything that you'd like to add, like comments about the kids' presentation, the work that you've done with them?
Sure. So it's never really any fun to, have not great reports, but it's always nice to know where you need to grow.
So they were very helpful in pointing out exactly where we need to.
From the perspective of an eighth grader.
From their perspective, I've had a great time getting to know that class a little bit more. We've met 3 times. A valuable lesson is to try to get them to tell me what they actually want. So in order to go out and move into this world and have your needs met, you actually have to be able to tell people what you want. What needs to be different, using specific language. So really trying to get to a final goal, because we share the same goal. We both want, well, all of us want school lunch to be better for all of our students. So that's been really great. I don't think many people working outside of school nutrition know all of the regulations and certain limitations that puts on us. You know, they're big residing things that we want salt.
Right.
I can't unfortunately give them any salt packets or for additional salt in their food, and we have to really cook for the masses and not the individual. So where, you know, you've got a quarter of the student body doesn't like meatloaf, but you've got 3/4 that love it. But the ones that do not want to eat meatloaf never want to see it on the menu ever. We're really trying to strike the balance between, you know, the all-time favorites and populars and moving away from some of those like the pre-made stuffed crust pizza, which we know it's not really great nutritionally for them. They love it. It's their favorite. I can take chemicals in it, but I would prefer not to give them that and to, you know, make them something a little more nutritious. So that's really all I have for that. We've been working for the last 3 years to make improvements. A lot of it is behind the scenes, and I'm excited to move next year, really working more closely with the student body.
I think it sounds like quite a learning opportunity, and I know that it's your program and you're very proud of it, as are we, by the way.
Yes.
And the staff that you have helped to grow in their skill sets. I mean, you really made a cohesive group, and we do appreciate that. But I can see just by a couple of the things they said and the things that they were referring to, like they didn't know the nutrition requirements, you know, sodium and sugar and dyes, and you know, there's your plate, what, I can't, my plate, you know, like there's a lot of those things which they had to gather some information on. So it is good to share that, and you start very well by, once you identify something that you need, like as they go out into the world, this is a good process for them to learn how. So, yeah, so thank you for working with them.
Yeah, anytime.
Good,
And
thank
I will
you.
continue to do so.
Give me a
Awesome. And Casey, do you have some financial information to share?
Really quick. Good news is we got 150,000 extra in our June subsidy because we are high cost out of district receipts, which is good for us. Our budget, we have remaining 1,482,000 so far. And I will need roughly about 900,000 of that to roll over in for accrued salaries for next year. So we're looking pretty decent. We still have 1 more pay period to go and 1 more salary to go. So we're looking okay. And that's really about it.
Mr. Gregory, did you hear that she said that we received extra money for high cost out of district?
Good.
Yay! Thank you, Rhonda. You're welcome.
All right, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, upcoming meetings, July 15th, 2025, August 12th, 2025, September 9th, 2025, October 7th, 2025, December 4th, 2025, and December 2nd, 2025. And can I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to. Sure.
There's a second? Kevin?
Make a motion, second it. Can you explain why we were hurrying so much, that we have an honors banquet? That we wanna go to show our respect and appreciation to some of the students.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
hope people know that.
Yes. So we are headed to the Elks Club to honor this year's graduating class, who will be receiving their honor stoles for making honors in their high school career. So there'll be a meal and some kind and celebratory words said, and so we are trying to be very efficient tonight, and that's why we haven't cut some of the report short. Chelsea, thank you very much for joining us today.
Can I have a vote on the adjournment?
Yes, I second you.
Kevin Gregory,
Aye.
thank you.
Thank you, guys.